Hey everyone, Mherex here, bringing you another video. This one is going to be our first ever Lady Boss Battle Faction Boss Guide. Hopefully I can get some stuff right for you, help make it easier. On Monday's stream, the preview of the boss battle that I was allowed to show had a level 20 boss having 500 million health, and a level 15 having only 77 million health. So honestly, I feel like any faction that wants to try will probably be able to complete 15s at 77 million health. I'm not going to do a mid-level boss battle guide because I'll kind of cover it in here right now for you. And I'll try and get a few videos out. I recorded a China, recorded a Lita, probably going to record a Trick Becky as well. So boss buffs, finishers are 10 times bigger and then trap gems are 60 times bigger. So each trap gem is essentially like a 60 times multiply gem. Every 1 to 2 turns, the boss is going to do abilities. The way I read this is on the boss's first turn, so after your first turn, you're going to take 1.5 million damage. Shield's going to go up. That cannot be broken by breakers. Cannot. 200 gems of any color. 35 leech gems are going to go out to cover your special gems on the board. That is what, 3/4 of the board, I think, about. And then your MP cost is going to go up by 10. So you will not be able to hold any moves in reserve that are ready to just click to break the shield. This is important to know. And then I think the second turn, what's going to happen is just the leech gems go out. Again, the boss's second turn, so after the players have had theirs, just the leech gems will go out, and you're going to take 1.85 million damage. And then the third turn is going to be like 2.185 million, or yeah, and the shield is going to go up again. Leeches are going to go out again, and your MP is going to go up again. So that's kind of what the cycle looks like. 500 million health is what you need to beat. I do not have EO. If you have EO, you are golden. Run her huge trap area, her make the area blue, and her buff move with a La Famila. It should recycle itself, and Bob's your uncle. EO is the way. The higher you bring her up, the better gem damage traps you have, the better she's going to do. So she's going to be great. Showboat Bailey, not very many people have her yet. She should be really strong too. After that, I would say Trickster Becky is probably going to be the most impactful one. I think with Fury 2s and All Heart, you can probably push 100 million on your first cycle or your first turn through 2 cycles. She's also going to be great at breaking the shield, one of the better options along with Hall of Fame China. So I think you're probably, I would plan for most factions 3 turns with the key, if you don't have EO, 3 turns with the key being to get that shield down on turn 2 and finish mopping up on turn 3 with probably a mix of like couple Beckys in a China, couple Chinas in a Becky, maybe a Super Stacy, maybe a Lita in there. Just keep in mind the Stacys and the Litas are basically useless for the shield with how you attack this boss. So with that being said, most of us aren't going to have breakers. If you have your people 6-star though, you're probably going to live 6, 7, 8 turns without heals or that kind of stuff. 5-star gold, you're probably going to get at least 3 turns in. You might have to equip vitality medals. You'll have to play that by ear with your hit points. I would have your 5-star golds maxed out on levels though, for sure. And then go from there. If I have to, I'll take Trickster Becky 6-star or Hall of Fame China if I have to. I'd rather not, as I don't have plans to do that long term, but it's not the end of the world. Let's take a look at lineup card here. Really, guys, I would focus on damage coming out from, if possible, if you have them, obviously EO in her slot. But if not, let me see, is EO focused or is she chaotic? I think EO is chaotic. Let me just make sure real quick. Replace. On the ones I don't have. Yeah, okay. So no issues here. All right. I think Becky is your number one choice. Like I said, I think she'll push 100 million on turn one with some Fury 2s, all heart at 5-star gold, even more at 6-star potentially. Throw the all heart on here, and then stack your Fury 2 medals as much as you can. Mine obviously isn't set up yet for that. This is the move set I would run. I'll do a video on her too. I'll try. So I think she's your number one here. Stacy, Super Stacy, should be able to probably push 70, 80 million on turn one with a good setup. She won't help on the shield though, but if you don't have Becky, that's some damage you can help pour in there. So keep that in mind, right? After that, you should be looking at who the best person you have to blow up the board. Don't fall in love with traps. Make it be your fastest person at blowing up the board. Also keep in mind with someone like Becky, if you have her traps on the board and cross breaks, yes, a lot of them will be overwritten, but some won't. And if you can get a swipe to help start recharging your moves, so much the better. That's where China will actually come in pretty clutch too. It's no guarantee, but it'll make it a lot easier to get going again with that 10 MP and with most of us not having breakers leveled or being able to. So that's why Becky and China are going to be kind of clutch there. Super Stacy again with the move damage. Otherwise, just focus on people that you can blow up a ton of the board. Whether it's Alundra with her like countdown gems and row breaks on the bottom and stuff. You know, maybe you're using Acro Bianca. Hope your Juggernaut gem doesn't get overwritten. Play the odds, right? And then she's loaded and blowing up a bunch of gems. That certainly could be a tactic if you have her. But focus on people who are low charge or have some way of getting themselves loaded without necessarily having their moves again. Not a lot of great options, right? There's not a ton. Ladies aren't real deep, so maybe Trick Stacy is going to be your go-to there. Have the traps on the board and just hope they don't get overwritten kind of thing. So that's kind of that slot. You're going to hear a lot of me saying this here. So China, I love here. Damage standpoint, I'll have a video on her. You're probably like 50 to 70 million on the turn, but you can also blow up the whole board, have some traps down at the end of your turn. If they don't get overwritten, maybe you can do a bunch of damage on the board. Lita can probably get 40 million, maybe 50 million, depending on your setup worth of damage, but she's not going to help with destroying the shield, which is going to be clutch. Again, after that, pickings start to get slim. Who do you have 6-star that can blow up the board and do things? Actually, if Beth is someone you took up, she has countdown gems she can put down. You're risking the chance of it being overwritten or not. Sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. I think Carmella can do some stuff potentially too. Shayna's got some countdown gem stuff with multiply gems that maybe can help get you going if you can get a match off of them. Just trying to think outside the box here. You know, Rhonda can have X breaks on the board. And if they don't get overwritten, maybe it's enough to get going. So just kind of think that way outside the box. Again, you're going to see not really much for choices, right? So you're going to have to figure out how useful you can be to the best of your ability. I can't figure that out for every roster, but China would probably be top choice in this slot for sure. And I would say Lita coming in number 2 damage-wise, but not being very useful at all for breaking the shield. So if you're struggling to break the shield and you're bringing Lita, you're probably part of the problem, right? Try a different thing. If you're not struggling to break the shield and she's doing damage, okay, you're good. I'll try and do a video on Lita. Not sure if I'll have time, but I will try. Actually, I think I might have already recorded that, so that'll have a video. China will have a video as well. That's already recorded. So this slot. This is the EO slot, if I'm not mistaken. Head and Shoulders, she's going to be the queen of this boss battle. You want the trap area, and then the random area, and then the buff, right? With a La Familia plate, it should recycle everything you need, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that, yeah. Maybe the sub in there somewhere. Not 100% sure right off. I don't have her. I'd have to think about it. I didn't look at her because she's pretty rare, but she definitely has build That'll work. Mickey, kind of a sleeper pick for damage. She also can break a lot of gems. However, you're going to have to get her charged, so you're going to need those yellow matches. So if you do that, have someone like Dom on there for yellow matchy match plus sort of thing. NWO Hogan if you have them, Rikishi if you don't, that sort of thing. Kairi can sort of blow up the board, has a few traps, kind of choosy. Don't see her as being a great damage option, but if you already have her leveled up high, she can blows the board up some, so that's not terrible. Again, other than that, maybe Steph. She's got a decent sized finisher. Change the multiplies into blue, so that's like, you know, 16 gems sort of thing. It recycles. And can help with the board a little bit, right? A little bit of damage, 16 gems of the 200, recycles, not the worst, for sure. So that's might be who I end up using in this slot, simply because she's kind of useful-ish across the board. Really tough carry slot. Molly's got a decent-sized finisher, but I don't think she's going to help blow up the board there. She does have a snowfall build that could work. Alexa's got slow animation, so I don't see a lot there. It's, again, really rough, guys. Maybe Lana. You're going to have to pick the best for you that can destroy a lot of gems again. Again, if you're struggling with the shield, you got to bring the best you can when you're in this slot. You're going to want them to be 5-star gold at least to survive and contribute the best you can. Do your best ahead of time. So what you can do with like Steph, right, is have your choose loaded and have your black gems on the board. Have a couple 5 matches set up, and then as soon as the turn's over, swipe for 5, swipe for another 5. These are both filled. Put them down, and then your blue is filled, and you can keep recycling the moves, right? So be smart. So someone like Steph, I could probably break about 40 gems on the second turn by being smart and having those down and getting 2 cycles through. So somebody like Steph would be useful in that spot for Chaotic. That's why I'm running her. Defense is kind of a dumpster fire, not gonna lie. If you have Bailey, great, you're using her. But other than that, it's kind of a dumpster fire. You're probably using Bailey, Nikki, or Shayna, and none of them are going to do a ton of damage, so set them up to break the shield as much as you can. Boy, yeah. Defense and Chaotic are tough if you don't have EO or Bailey, and as you can see, I don't. So, again, all of these things, guys, any one of the decent ones I mentioned damage-wise can help carry through a 15, right? Your Litas, your Chynas, your Beckys, all are going to be able to help get you through a 15. Somebody with a decent finisher, even like a Zianka, she can probably do like 10 million on her finisher. That'll help with 15s, right? Keep that in mind. Shield should be much lower at 15 as well. I don't think you're going to struggle, to be honest, with 15s. I think 20s will be a challenge. Nico, I will do a video for Go Becky. With Bianca, I would focus on getting the finisher loaded, I would say, and having the cross breaks down so she can blow up the board, right? Again, it's super cheap at 4 MP. So what you can do is you can have the bottom 3 rows down. Leeches aren't going to cover all of them up. You again have your 2-5 matches set up. Swipe, finishers loaded, and then you hit the finisher and it'll blow up any of the X breaks that are there and hopefully keep you now get into your cycle, right, of blowing up the board and getting things done. That's how I would run Bianca. I would honestly ignore the bleed and go for the shield because you're going to be way more useful on the shield, personally. Or focus on the finisher if you're doing 15s and lower. 15s and over, like you're trying to get your 20s, focus on the shield. That's going to be her job, is the shield. You're not doing enough damage. Again, guys, separate in your mind what your job is. When you're going for the 20s and the harder ones, if you're not the huge damage, you're the shield breaker, right? So do your job and be ready to break the shield. Your damage is nice, but it's not needed. You can't win if the shield doesn't go down. Let the high damage people worry about the damage. You set up your whole match for the shield. Matches for turn 3 is the load will be 10 times turn 2. I don't understand that, Northern Mouth. What are you asking, bud? Yes, if the MP should be turn 2. So you're wanting to take the shield down on turn 2 so you can go all out on turn 3 if you don't win turn 1. So the cycle's going to be turn 1, get as much damage in as you can. Shield breakers, get ready for the shield as best you can. Your second turn, your moves are going to be 10 higher, so no point in saving your moves back because they're not going to be there ready to go. None of them will be ready. So get them on the board and hope it's someone that can do a swipe like China, like Becky, and break the board. Leech gems are going to overwrite your special gems, so no guarantee there. And then turn 3, hopefully the shield down either right away or very early. MP drops off, your moves are back charged, and you can get some damage in again and hopefully finish the boss. 5-star gold should be able to live to that point. 6 stars could maybe get a full another rotation of 3 in, or the another 2, right? So you'll have maybe like 5-6 turns at 6-star. 5-star golds is probably only the 3. So that's kind of how I see the boss breaking down. These are kind of my picks. I'll try and get the video on Becky because I think she's super useful. Maybe I'll do one on Steph for getting it set up. Probably not, to be honest. Migraine and it's been a long day. I'll try and get the Becky one done to go with the China. And I think the Lita one, maybe Super Stacy. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll probably be streaming Boss Battle tomorrow if you want to see what our faction's doing to try and clear it. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as that really helps me out. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and good luck out there.